Okay, hi guys. I'm going to start giving it another try. The guy came here yesterday or this morning and said that he had fixed my internet. We'll see. I'm already, as we're doing this video, I'm trying to start downloading a backlog of 8 or 9 videos to YouTube that I had been cooking and hadn't been able to get on YouTube yet, so I hope that works. At the very least, I hope this one works, getting it up on Facebook just to get started. So I know our gardens haven't quite gotten that far yet. I know some people have had zucchinis, but I haven't yet. I've got some very small ones there. But what I wanted to do is talk to you about how wonderful zucchini freezes. And I'm going to show you a recipe today. I can't believe I'm sharing this. This has been in the vault for years. It's zucchini bread. It makes 2 loaves at the same time. It's the recipe I have, so you can take this recipe, which always makes 2 loaves, you can put it in half and make 1 at a time, or you can make both loaves each time because it's only 2 cups of zucchini, and you can freeze 1 loaf and have the other as your pleasure right now. Or, hey, in a time when we're dashing each other and thinking about our friends and neighbors, why don't you give 1 away? My baking today, that's all going to be given away. I've already baked 3 little loaves of banana bread today here. These are going to go today. I have cooling over here on the counter a bunch of no bakes that are going today. I've got some dash boxes I'm making, and those are all going in there. And what also will go in there is I'm going to make 3 or 4 little zucchini breads and then 1 big one. And the big one, whenever I'm making zucchini bread, always has to go to my daughter Danielle. It's her absolute all-time favorite bread. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to start the recipe right now. I'm going to try to get you over here because I'm taping by myself again. It seems like I'm always doing lately. And let me just turn the camera down and let me get my bowl down there. So this is a great recipe. This is a fantastic recipe. It starts with 4 eggs. 4 eggs. I don't know why, I still crack on the side of the bowl. Rachel Ray says to crack on the counter on a surface like this. So let's do it. Well, that did open a little bit better, but I did make a bit of a mess too. We'll do it again. Well, 3. I'm using large eggs, by the way. 4. Now this bread recipe is amazing. I know I said it was amazing, but I'm going to say it again. It is amazing. It has a great reputation because it's fabulous. The thing is, when you're done, before you put your zucchini into it, it gets really, really dry. And so it looks like you failed, but you haven't. Don't worry. That's what's supposed to happen. And when you get your zucchini in there, it gets wet again. So I'm just kind of raking through my eggs a little bit first. There. I just want my eggs to be all there. Next, I have 2 cups of just regular granulated sugar. Sorry, my arm's gonna go over where you are for a little while. Can't help it, I'm working at the baking center and it's only so much space. And then after 2 cups of sugar, I have 1 cup of vegetable oil, which where is my, oh, here it is. I'm gonna put this up here for a second. And the oil I got was from the pop-up again. This is still what's left of my pop-up oil, which is fantastic. It's an amazing oil. Again, 1 cup. I'm just using regular vegetable oil. I'm not using my extra virgin olive oil because I try to keep that for cooking on the stove when I'm doing stir fries and stuff. So here we go. Olive oil in there. I like to get it all, so I take my spatula. Remember, I love spatulas. If you ever want to gift Paula, find her all different sizes of spatulas, not spatulas, spatulas, but I take them from anywhere, any place. They're hard to find now, so. And then I kind of mix this up together here. Usually I actually use the whisk to mix it up together, but I'm just trying to get the start of a mix here. And then I'm going to go in with 3 1/2 cups of flour, just regular baking flour, all-purpose flour. So, 1 and 2. Oh God, this is the best bread in the world. I can't believe I'm sharing this recipe with you. This has been in my vault forever. It's going out into the world. I must really love you all to be sending out one of my best recipes out into the world. Well, I've given you actually many of my best recipes. What am I talking about? I guess, yeah. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying this. Okay, so there's your 3 1/2 cup of flour. Now we're going with a teaspoon of salt. And I'm probably going to go to the full teaspoon on this one because there's a lot of bread here and I want to make sure the flavor shines through. So I pretty much did the whole teaspoon here. 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. Remember, now this is a unique recipe. It has baking soda and baking powder, so you got to make sure you get them right. 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I always keep my baking soda in this Tupperware jar that I have had for like 40 years. I mean, I've had this forever. And I always keep my baking soda in here because I always worry that in the cupboard it'll pick up flavors. So I've never had my baking soda, when I open it up in the box, I always put it right into here right off, and never has any taste from anything else or any smells from anywhere else. Because you know, that's what baking soda does. The job of it is to rid the world of different odors and stuff. So 1 1/2, and I just wanted to show you, I know it looks like I'm doing a teaspoon, but I'm going to show you that. This is actually a, let me clean the top of it, a 1 1/2 teaspoon, see? If you go to the top of it. So 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. In we go. The next thing is cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I go back to my regular 1 teaspoon, and I do the 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And you definitely want that cinnamon because it is fabulous. Okay, and I know somebody, I have a friend, she has a child in her home, Jasmine, she has a child in her home that has a sensitivity to cinnamon, so, and I'd never heard of that before, but I now respect it, and when I bake for her, because I bake for her quite often, when I bake for her, I remember that cinnamon is a trigger for one of her kids in her house. Okay, so there's a 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. There is no such thing as a 3/4 of a teaspoon, so here we go. I use a 1/2 teaspoon. So this is where the math comes in. I hope you were paying attention to math class. There's your 1/2 plus your 1/4. And you now have 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And the 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. So I'll go back to my, see, I'll show you it's a 1 1/2 teaspoon thing. If you go down to here, it's still just a 1 teaspoon, but if you go up to the rim, it's 1 1/2. So here we go, 1 1/2 of vanilla, and it's just regular. I like the non-GMO, but it's McCormick. That's one thing I don't usually buy just store on vanilla, because I really want that really good vanilla taste. I don't want imitation, I want real. If there's a store product that has real and not imitation, yeah, I'll buy into it once in a while. I've done the Walmart when it said real. But that's one thing when it comes to vanilla, I always have to have it real. I will not buy imitation at all. So all natural, pure vanilla extract. So it's pretty expensive when you're buying real, but in the end, I think with everything that you're baking, it's the one, you know, you have to choose which one you're going to use your money on. Well, when it comes to vanilla, I think that's the one you want to choose your money on, buying better brand than store brand. I am just like the next person. I will buy store brand coconut and flour and sugar and all kinds of things, but not usually store brand of vanilla. Usually McCormick. And I tend to buy it, like this is one of the, I got this, it's 16 fluid ounces. I'm going to say it was like 30 bucks. I bought it. You know, it's one of those things where I got at Walmart.com online, and I've had it to be able to use all this time. When you buy it like that in that big container, because it is expensive to buy it, it's like $9 for the small one in the store regular. But if you buy it in bigger like that, yep, you're spending 30 at once, but then you're not buying it again for a long time, and it has a good shelf life, especially since it's real, not imitation. So see how I told you it was dry? It looks dry. It is dry. See, it's doughy and dry. I'm just trying to break up all those ingredients. So the next thing, I'm going to put this off for a side for a minute because I'm going to go get my zucchini. Okay, I had last fall, knowing almost every zucchini recipe I have takes 2 cups, whether it's cakes, brownies, which I can show you any of these as we get into zucchinis coming from the garden. They almost always come, I think they do all come with 2 cups is their amount in their recipe. So every one of my freezer bags were 2 cups of zucchini, just like this. Earlier this afternoon, I took it out of the freezer, and as you can see, it's all, by the way, don't get rid of that wet. You don't see that wet when you're, and we'll see it later on in the garden, when you are shredding your zucchini, you won't see this wet, because that's how the zucchini itself breaks down. And that's what's so important about it. It's a watery kind of vegetable. So it has to be watery, because remember how dryish this is? It's going to need that water to bring it back to where it's supposed to be for consistency to bake. So I would say two things I want to say, or one thing maybe, I don't know. When you got this in the freezer, make sure you take your freezer bag and put it in a bowl like this, because even though they're bags and they are sealed, for some reason, I don't know if it's the sweat or whatever, but the liquid goes, and you'll lose that liquid. It will come out either a tiny, I don't know how it does it, but it comes out of the bag. So I always, when I'm defrosting it, put it in a bowl to capture what liquid comes out, because you also need all the liquid that's in the bag. And for some reason, that comes out of the bag. I've never understood it, but it does. So here we go. So this is my zucchini, as you can see. It doesn't look anywhere near as harsh or stand up like it does, which we'll see later on this summer when we're taking the zucchini out of our garden and we're going to start grating it. You can see that it looks mushy. That's okay. Freezing it like that does that to it, but it still has the properties. And when it breaks down for bread later on, when it comes out of the garden, those properties come out of the zucchini anyway. When you're actually stirring it and getting it into the bread like this, it takes it literally from this really dry mash kind of thing into a great bread bread consistency. So as I'm putting this together here, this is the last step. I'm not going to be putting nuts or raisins into this, because I'm giving these also as dash gifts, and I didn't put any nuts in my bananas because I didn't know who was allergic. There is nuts in my no bakes, but I will be giving the no bakes to families that I absolutely know for sure have no allergies. So these are not going to be around anything that has any nuts in it, because I don't want to cross-contaminate. So I'm not putting nuts in this, and I didn't put it in the banana because I'm giving them away as gifts today in dash boxes. But see how quickly it's turning into a regular consistency? Fantastic, right? And that is really all there is to it. I'll keep stirring for a minute, but from here you're going to put them in just regular cake pans. You can either butter the sides of them, or you can spray Pam or some oil on it. I've also got my little pans all prepared and sprayed as well. So I'm going to do a few little pans and one big one, because of course Danielle has to have hers. So really I'm just going to keep stirring this until it's completely done, which it's very close, you can see. Then I'm just going to split it amongst those pans. I'm going to put it into the oven, and I'm going to bake it at 350 for 55 minutes. Same as the banana bread. Banana bread's 55 minutes to an hour, and the zucchini bread are too. You know when you're done, again, you know what I always say, when you're done, when the timer goes off, don't just pull it out of the oven, because sometimes you put a little more in one pan than the other and it won't cook all the way up, just like a cake. Remember to put your toothpick down the middle. If it comes back dry with nothing on it, then you are definitely done. If it comes back with anything on it, you still got a mushy center in there, and it'll ruin all of your hard work and all of your ingredients. So from here, it's 350 degrees for 55 minutes. And that's as easy as the best zucchini bread in the world can be. Now we'll be doing more zucchini recipes in it's not gonna be that long, maybe a week or two, maybe a couple of weeks, when my zucchinis start coming up. We'll be doing like zucchini cake and cookies and brownies, whatever you want to see. But we're also going to do fried zucchini. Like, if you know, we can't all get out, we can't all go have fun food, you can make that fried zucchini at home, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And you have the ingredients right here, I know you do, to do something that simple. So already on your shelf. So get excited for zucchinis coming up, just like we did. We went through that whole rhubarb thing. We did all kinds of stuff with rhubarb. Now let's get excited for the zucchini coming up, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.